Hi there, welcome to practice. My name is Melaminah. Today I'd like to guide you through balancing half moon, also known as Ardha Chandrasana. So I would definitely recommend please warming up, taking a couple minutes to warm up first, maybe a couple of cat and cows just to move the spine around, and anything else that feels good in your body to warm yourself up. I'm going to show two versions of this posture today. The first one we're going to do is a kneeling posture. So we will start on our knees. And let's go ahead and start by taking the left leg out towards the left side. We'll have our hands on our hips to start with. Inhaling, right arm up. And then let's take an exhale and just cartwheel that right hand down to the mat. So you can span the fingers out wide if you'd like, or to provide a little bit of extra protection for the wrist. You can make a fist, and that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to make a fist. And then let's take the hand just a little bit forward of the shoulder so that when we start to lift this left leg up and away from the mat, our shoulder, elbow, and wrist are all in one straight line. When we stack the joints, we're more stronger and more stable. So the next part of this pose is lifting that left leg up away from the mat. So we want to press the hips forward here, noticing that the left hip or the right hip is a little bit past our knee, but our knee is there for some stability. And then we want to really lift and engage this lifted leg. So squeezing skin to muscle, muscle to bone, spreading the toes. We don't need to lift our leg too high. We don't want it too low. We want to see if we can get that leg, the foot, right in alignment with our hip. So raising the leg up enough to get that to happen. And then we can leave our hand on our hip if we'd like, or we can start to lengthen the left arm into the sky. There's a little bit of engagement in the belly here, pressing the hips forward, staying strong in our midsection. And then the final option is anything that feels good for the neck. So maybe looking down, or we can look straight ahead, or if we want a little more of a balance challenge, we can lift our gaze up towards the sky. So I'm going to come out of this side and come back to standing on the knees. And again, this is the kneeling version of balancing half moon. And so we can, of course, do that on the other side as well. So we'll take the right leg out towards the side, turning the toes towards the long edge of the mat, hands on hips, pressing the hips forward. Let's take that left arm up, inhale. On the exhale, cartwheeling the hand down to the mat. And then again, either fingers spread nice and wide, kind of gripping the mat for some support here, or for extra support of the wrist, we can make a fist. And then we'll press the hips forward, rolling this top shoulder open, and then lifting the right leg up. Maybe the right arm lifts as well. So this is a great place to start because we really want to practice squaring stacking the hips one on top of each other and stacking the shoulders one on top of each other. So we want to really get a feel for what this is like in the body in a kneeling position so that when we come to a standing position and we have less of a support, it'll be a little bit easier for us to at least feel what it's like in the body. So here we've got lots of support. We've got our leg on the ground, our knee on the ground, our hand here on the floor as well. And there's lots of stability and strength here. So our balance is challenged, but not quite as much as when we come to a standing position. So we'll hold this for a couple of breaths, and then let's go ahead and come out of the pose and make our way back to kneeling. So when we're ready, we might come up to a standing position, and I'll show you the standing version as well. Let me grab a book real quick. If we're practicing at home, and we don't have yoga bricks, we can grab a really thick book. I would recommend that it is a very thick book so that it's nice and stable because we will be putting our weight on it. We don't want the book to wobble around at all and have the potential of falling over. So make sure if you grab a book that it's nice and thick, either like an encyclopedia, or this happens to be the 4-Hour Chef. It's a nice big book, so whatever. I'll demonstrate today using the wall. This is kind of an intermediary option when we're practicing balancing half moon standing up. So I'm going to take the book about 6 inches in front of my right foot. And then I'm just going to start in mountain position at the wall. So I'm about 2 or 3 inches away from the wall here. Ideally, these protrusions would be gone. So please, when you're at home, make sure you've got a nice flat wall space that's unobstructed so you don't accidentally bump yourself or injure yourself in any way. So then let's take a nice wide stance. We'll take the feet about 2.5, maybe 3 feet apart. And then let's point the right toes over towards the right side and kick the left heel out. So this is kind of a warrior 2 setup of the legs. Nice strong legs, squeezing skin to muscle, muscle to bone. Feel a lifting up into the core, engaging the legs into the body. From here, we'll take our hands to our hips, and then let's bend into that front knee. So we're kind of making our way into warrior 2 without without the arms lifted yet. So from here, we will take our gaze out towards the right side and then down a little bit. So finding our brick or book, let's walk the left foot in a little, shortening our stance. And then we'll take the right arm up into the sky. On an exhale, let's reach forward for that brick. We can make adjustments if we need to. And then we'll give a little push off of that left leg. Now here's where we wanted to practice opening up the hips. So we're stacking the hips one on top of each other, stacking the shoulders one on top of each other. And this is why I love the wall, because for today, we can use the wall for support. I'm pressing both of my hips into the wall. I'm pressing both of my shoulders into the wall. And then that final expression of the pose is to lengthen the left arm up into the sky as well. So notice I'm not collapsing into my right arm. I'm pressing the floor away, pressing the book away. You can also do this by resting your hand on the edge of a coffee table or a couch or something like that. So keep lifting out through both hands, pressing the floor away, lifting up through that top hand. Super strong lifted legs. So again, pressing through the inner edge, the inner thigh of the leg, pressing the standing leg into the ground. So notice I'm not locking my knee here. I've got a teeny tiny little bend in the knee, but I'm still pressing the floor away, lifting up into the hip, active standing leg as well. And then to come out of the pose, we can release that left leg down to the mat and then maybe come into warrior 2, or we can bring the feet back together and just take a moment in the mountain pose. So setting ourselves up for the second side. We'll transition the brick or book over to the left, and let's turn the left toes out, right heel out, right toes slightly in. And then let's bring those hands to the hips. We'll bend into that left knee. Let's make sure that the left knee is peeling open towards the pinky toe. And we want to keep that external rotation even as we come to standing and balancing on this leg. And I'll talk about that more in a moment when we actually get into the pose again. So we can take the arms up, or maybe keep the right hand down, left arm out and forward. Leaning forward, reaching out towards our brick or book here, and then giving a nice little press away from the mat. So notice here, I'm not sure if you can see, but notice that the tendency is for this left knee to fall in. We want to peel it open and press the floor away. So really get strong in that standing leg, rooting down on all sides of the foot, and then lots of energy in this lifted leg as well. Pressing the hips to the wall, the shoulders to the wall, and then maybe finally extending the arm up. Seeing if we can get the toes to face forward, heel up against the wall, scooping the tailbone towards the lifted heel, pressing down through that left arm, pressing the floor away, widening across the collarbones, choosing any version for the neck that feels good here. And then to come out of the pose, we'll gently lower the right leg down, give ourselves a little push off of that brick, and make our way back into mountain. All right, thank you so much. That's it for today. I just wanted to demonstrate balancing half moon for us, Ardha Chandrasana. This is a great posture for practicing balance. We've got 2 points of contact on the floor. The rest of the body is lifting up and away. And it's a great time, a great posture for connecting with the full moon energy. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, or interpretive dances, feel free to reach out to me. You can reach me at melaminah.com. Thanks so much. See you soon.